Welcome, traders and investors, to this November 16th edition of the closing print. Joel Alconin here for the first 15 minutes, riding solo. Then I'll be joined by Triple D Traders doing a little bus stop duty today. Usually he comes on at the beginning, but he'll be on at 3:45 with us for his take on the market action today. We're in the red, not by much here. Sniff 4,500, but just couldn't punch through that area. Made a couple attempts to go green off the open. We were green by 7 handles. That didn't hold. Post lunch move right up to unchanged again, failed, but now it looks superior here going into the final 28 minutes of the session. We're trying to get a sustained bid here up near the close. We'll talk about what's buoying the market here in a second. The buck is down, just a few pennies. The buck is down a nickel. Oh boy, buck traders be keeping an eye on this 103.82 level, 3 lows in a row. That is a must hold support level for the dollar. Bonds having a good day. 115 and 630 seconds. It's up almost a point. Coming up to that important area, folks, we'll be looking at 15 and 23:30 seconds. That was a double top from Tuesday and Wednesday. Also, that was a high right before you fell off the cliff back in September. So, bond market helping out a little bit. Stocks not following the cue as of yet. Crude is just getting shellacked again. I guess you guys can cancel your orders at $100. Down 359, 73.20. Hung around support too long, folks. You hang around support too long, and boom, boom, boom. And there we go. Breaking down here on the lows of the session. I don't know if Jay Rice hopping in the chat. Hey Jay, how you doing? I didn't see the Michigan settle. Are you just trying to uh divert my attention here? Nope, they did here. They did sorry. Settle litigation. Oh, yep, he accepted the suspension. Holy mackerel! They're not going to court tomorrow. Sorry, thanks, Jay. I thought I saw that come across. I was hoping it wasn't true. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Gold up $20.60 at 1984.90. That's a nice move. Going back towards 2K again. Silver's been the bright spot in the market. That's up over 30 cents here at $23.84. Bitcoin, easy come, easy go. That 2 grand day yesterday, down 1690 today at 35,130. There is a look at your commodities and futures here. We got a lot to take a look at as far as stocks go, and I will get refocused here. Let's just go over Palo Alto Networks. Not much here. Didn't really give you any good levels. Tried to see if we were going to get to the pre-market low. Did get to that 330 area bill that I thought might be a good buy, but no, 234. I don't know if we had any daily. I guess that lined up with a daily low at 33.81, but you would have had to stick your neck out there in order to get that. Cisco never really recovered either. Once again, didn't go to the pre-market low. We had talked about a steady buyer at the 47 area. He was overwhelmed, or she was overwhelmed, heading into the lunch hour, but now back above 47, nothing there. Walmart couldn't catch a bid to save its life. It did come back down to the area of the pre-market low. Little surprised at this one. Big old thick stock pre-market low, 55.55. Got to 56.11, but we still got some time here in the session to get down to that pre-market low. Big drag on the index, and this is having a really a monstrous effect on some other retail stocks. We talked about this morning Costco trading at a high PE. Well, they didn't like what they saw at Walmart. They're not asking questions. They're not asking questions. They are just being very aggressive in the Costco. I believe they have yet to report. Gap down day for Costco. This is also spilling over to BJ. Now, BJ Wholesale Club Holdings, they report after the close. They are being punished for the Walmart report. Maybe Walmart, after Target set a high bar, Walmart set a low bar. Maybe BJ Wholesale could get over that low bar. Pretty much range bound since October, coming down to the lower end of the range. Also getting dragged into this Kroger down a buck 87 at 42.64. Kroger gap down and got hit, coming in a monthly support here. Several big area of trading on these lows right now, 42.62, 42.67. So important for Kroger to catch a bid here at this level. Also, what else would I see? Costco, Kroger, BJ. This is all from the Walmart fallout. A stock we didn't get to cover in the retail sector going the opposite way. William Billy Sonoma having a good day here, actually having a really good 4 days. Big move for Sonoma, William Sonoma, WSM. I guess people can still afford that expensive stuff. 176.89 was your August high. Been up 4 of the last 5 sessions, 5 of the last 6. Let's make it. Going to take a few more days to get up to that 176 area, but not if it goes up half as much today. That's Williams Sonoma. On the other end, going back into the other end on retail, not really car retail. CarMax not having a good day. Lower open, continued to go lower. 62 bucks is support in this. Couple of lows just above 62. You nick 62. How low we get in today's session? Not quite there. We'll see if you can build a base. S&P's making another charge at going green on the session. Going green on the session is 19 and a quarter. 26 and a quarter is your high. Very tight range today, just a little bit over a 25-point range. Now, the reason for the strength in the market, look no further than Apple Inc. up a buck 51. Didn't even blink at 190. Filled the gap here. I can't remember what that gap. I don't know if that was the China ban of cell phone gap, but you did have a gap at 190.69 to fill. That was a big gap. What you get to today? What do you know? You got to 190.96. So gap fill for Apple helping out once again. Here's the real impressive, the top component in the index. Microsoft up 633, up 3 days in a row. Or excuse me, making a new all-time high 3 days in a row. And what's most impressive about this move is that it's making a new all-time high by like a wide margin. The previous all-time high was made yesterday at 369 and just under 370. Now you're making a new all-time high. So there's what's booming in the market. Your mega cap tech. Also, Google was running neck for neck as the biggest percentage gainer. But they are neck and neck now. We'll see who ends up. I hope it's Microsoft. Google, that's up a buck, 1.65. That's two and a quarter. 138.64 is your last print. Filling the gap. Can it fill the gap? Back from earnings, and that gap comes in at 138.75. What do you know? You go to 138.88, and you're filling the gap here in the Googster. Amazon not competing, not helping out as much. Nvidia up 5 sticks, getting back some of those losses from yesterday from the very short. And Tesla Inc., our good old buddy, Gordon Johnson, showing a tweet from the European community where there's a lot of their Tesla cars on sale. So who knows? That's it. Had a big run, now giving some back. You had a gap up day on Tuesday because of the CPI number. So you do have a gap to fill, in a big gap to fill between 230.72 and 225.40. But you got a ways to go to get to that. Actually, you're getting a bounce here. 230.96, just under 231. You're finding buyers. Your high on Tuesday, 230.72, and today's low, 230.96. Battle at the close here. The Bears are digging in. They don't want to see the 13th up session in the last 15 for the S&Ps. Not much going on after the close. We do have some stocks that are due to report. Flip a coin with these retailers. Ross Stores down 417 ahead of its report. Blame I don't know who you're going to blame for that. You really can't blame Walmart. Got a potential gap fill in here on the downside, 118.47. So Ross Stores is a mover, and not too far from its all-time high. Also after the close, GPS, Gap Inc., $15, man. We gave you that level this morning. Didn't quite, or excuse me, $14. I thought 15 because I think it was trading higher. But right now, shorter term, ahead of that 15, you got multiple highs at the 14 to 14.15 area. So that's going to be resistance. We'll see what happens off the report. Also, the old Geezer Beezer Homes is due to report today. That's traded down 32 cents. Looks like you got good support at 28 after a move up to begin the month. It had some consolidation, and at that consolidation, made several lows at the $28 area. We'll be keeping an eye on that. If you're looking for more upside in the Beezer double top, let's call it exact double top at 31.32. Battle over on changes continues here, going into the final 15 minutes of the session. Let me pull up here and what do we got? See if we can look at some stocks here before Triple D joins us. Generac having a big move here, up 3 sticks. Boy, oh boy, where are we going? Gap up a couple days ago. Gappy, and crappy. Uh, mm, no clear resistance points, just a bunch of lower highs. Let's see if I can dig up something for you in this one. For Generac, and where are we? May, June. My chart got off there a little bit. Here we are, Generac. It didn't take out yesterday's high. It's a good day, but still didn't take out yesterday's high. So that's something you'll be looking at tomorrow. 115.96, 115.03. Really no other highs in that area, but look, a little bit of a double top here and backed off. Maybe we can make a little bit of a base here at this area and make a move for the 120 area. We already mentioned the crude. I don't know if I'm loading up on Microsoft here, but man, it seems to bind on the dip. Macy's, we talked about the $14 area. It did get through that on the opening bell, got into that gap area, but couldn't hold 14. I gave you 14, opened above it, went up 20 cents. Actually, when it came down through that $14 area, boom, not much in there. Haven't filled the gap yet from yesterday's session. That's 1288 to 1310. I think what you had with this one with Dan back, just a lot of people sitting on a lot of profits. All right. We are going to admit Triple D into the room here, and I know what he's going to say. He's going to say the mega cap tech is saving the market once again. We are now green on the session. We are not really moving towards, well, the high of the day is 26 and a quarter. We don't have much there, but we will get Triple D's opinion here on the market. They tried to break it under 4,500. You saw what happened. The bulls came out once again. Going to stop my screen share, and Dennis, Mega Cap Tech out in front again. Will
I mean,
not.
Microsoft knew, no, it's continuous. I mean, this is what works no matter what, is what the market thinks. So Microsoft new all-time high, Meta approaching new all-time high, not quite to where it got a couple days ago. Apple, amazingly enough, is not far from an all-time high. I mean, we're looking back just towards the summer when we got up to 198, so you're only $9 away from it now. Amazon is still significantly off because we know it had the significant sell-off there. Google is still significantly off its all-time high here too, but no, it's sneaking in there, 151 to 138. And then Nvidia, what can you say about Nvidia? I mean, it dips a little bit this morning and they just come in and they start buying the dip. It gets that 10-point dip and people are hungry, hungry, hungry for, the pure play of AI. And this is Nvidia. So it continues to be the same stocks that lead the way here, Joel.
Yeah, Amazon in the red a little bit. Our buddy Gordon was picking on Tesla today. I guess he showed some pictures from the European Union showing big discounts on the Tesla cars. So that's a little bit of a drag. Did you see the move in oil here, Dennis? Crude oil futures down $3.50.
Mess.
That's putting some pressure on Oxy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bourne step up again. CVX, I'm sure, is in the low here. Oh
I mean,
boy.
this is
Ooh.
like value central is the oil stocks, but value trade has not worked in 2023. Not at all. It's been the opposite. Oil had the summer that they were doing pretty good, but now these stocks start to break down. Amazingly enough, we're talking about new 52-week lows for Chevron. So we went from in the summer where people were talking about oil, $150 oil, Goldman was saying, and boom, and everybody was going to be, paying 5, $6 a gallon at the gas station. It was going to go crazy. And here we are. And Chevron making new 52-week lows. Exxon has been an unbelievable performer, really relative, but it's not far from its 52-week low, $98.102.
Mm.
So the value trade, I'll just say 2023 was an epic disaster for the value trade. And I have a lot of value stocks in my long-term portfolio. They did not do good. The thing that saved my long-term portfolio was the cash because I had a lot of stocks with lower P's and those low P stocks just went lower. Is the time, different here now? Are we getting a turn? I don't know. I kind of feel like you've had a pretty good run, not in oil, but in some of these value names like the Macy's today, maybe is a good example. Big run, 11, 12, 13 reports. They're buying it at 14. Everything's going crazy. And what happens? It pulls back significantly off those highs here. So I kind of feel like this the thing that I've been doing in my long-term portfolio is trying to actually sell some of these value names into the strength because these value names are not going to be that much value because they're full of debt. So if we do go into recession in 2024, I don't want to have a lot of stocks that have a lot of debt in them or stocks that require financing to buy their products. So I'm going to keep saying I'm staying away from those stocks. And what doesn't require financing to get their products? iPhones,
Yeah, for
Microsoft
sure.
products, a
Yep.
lot of them don't require financing. We know it's been an asset, the debt that they have on the books, they've got it really low. So they're actually making money on that debt. Higher rates for longer works for mega cap tech. It doesn't work for anything else. But today, Joel, I know it's a run on sentence here. We've had the TLT had a really good
I
day
know. I
and
know.
IWM having none of it. This
None
is a
of it.
terrible day for the IWM. It's a terrible day. I thought the XBI would lift too. No, opened at the highs of the day and they pulled the rug out. What this is telling me is that these stocks are concerned about the potential for a recession, that is
Yep.
starting to trump the concerns of, like, or because we get that data coming in, which shows jobless claims up a little bit. Well, in normal markets, it's not a good thing, but in this market, we interpret it as a good thing because it means, oh, the Fed's gonna, not think
Yep.
about going higher on the rates. But here it's like, oh, now you're thinking all these small caps. Well, what if a recession does come? What if we have high rates and what if we have high rates and we all of a sudden,
Start
have
to slow.
slowing growth? I mean, that's a perfect storm for a lot of these companies.
Stagflation.
Well, that's a possibility here too, Joel. So I mean, nobody's talking like that because mega cap the seven are leading the way. And I think those are the stocks you're buying on pullbacks here still. Maybe it turns in January, but going into the end of the year, the stocks you want to own are probably still the stocks that have been winning all year.
Walmart here. Someone's asking if we see a bottom here in Walmart, and I think it's hard to pick a bottom in here yet on the dailies. Now you have the gap. You're way off the highs of the session here. I mean, I guess if you go to there was one daily low at 155.66. Your pre-market low was right in that area at 155.65. But the problem with a stock like this, if you're trying to pick a bottom in it today, is a lot of people are going to pull up their portfolios overnight, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, what happened to my Walmart? Get me out of my Walmart. And then, you get found through the next day. So I
Sometimes.
don't, yeah. So, I mean, unless you have a strong market day,
Hu-
but yeah,
Huge victory, and you're not going to hear any of this on CNBC. Huge victory for the Bears today. It was a huge victory for the Bears. This IWM move is a serious disappointment,
I agree.
considering that the TLT is up and approaching 90. If you start getting decoupling of the TLT and the IWM, which it should do, if they start to care that the economic data is starting to come in soft, throw the soft landing out the window. I mean, then you start getting concerned. But again, mega cap tech might work in all environments. So that's why, like, people ask me, are you selling my Nvidia? I'm like, no, maybe at the end of the year here, but I think this stock's going to make new all-time highs before it starts to go back down to those lows. I think it's just in there. So, those are the stocks that I was buying. SMCI, I bought that one here. There's a few that you've got to be looking at on dips. And again, what I sold on the rip was Generac. I think you're getting an opportunity to get out of GNRC right now. I sold it sooner. I got out at like 104. Didn't, I know you could get 113 here right now. So definitely sold it way too early, cutting my loss. But I do think like 2024 is going to be a struggle for some of these companies if rates stay up.
Got a
So lots
question
to
about,
chew on here.
yeah, I got a question about, someone asked about, does gold and oil have a relationship? And over the years, I haven't really observed any. You would think that, higher inflation would, but gold never really was that great inflation. So I don't see any really correlations. I know people talk about gold and the dollar and that relationship. But I know you don't trade a lot of gold stocks, but I just thought, if you
I
have
don't
any
think any
comments.
relationship at all, really
No.
long term. Gold kind of does its own thing. We always think that gold is going to rally, when the market stocks go down, and it's just not been the case. And gold is holding up well, just as a store of value. With the banks doing as bad as they have, people think, oh, I've got gold and it's a store of value. The problem with gold is holding gold is there's no yield. So it sits there and collecting zeros. So it's all appreciation that you're banking on here. I own zero gold in my long-term portfolio. It has been a massively underperforming
Performing.
asset for a very long time. And you can say, "Oh, no, what are you talking about?" The last, if we just it depends on time frames, right? But if you look in since 2019, oh, it's done pretty good, 120 to one, But if you go out further and you keep going out further, gold just, like if you look even back to like 19, like where are we announced here, Joel, right now? Like just go back all the way.
1985.
Yeah. So I'm going back like 1985. If you can go back that far on gold
I
and look at your
don't on
charts, but
mine. Mine only goes back 20 years.
yeah, and I'm the same thing on my charts here too. But I mean, 2012, GLD was 180. Here we are, 11 years later, after one of the biggest bull markets of all time, and gold is at GLD is at 180, the exact same thing, yielding nothing. There's a lot of stocks that look like that, but at least they gave you dividends. GLD gave you nothing. So GLD for the last 13 years, your return is a zero. For the last 3 years, it's pretty good. Last 13 years, a zero.
Okay, coming up here, gonna let you go in a minute. Ross Stores, Gap, and Beazer Homes. The retailers have just been really such a mixed
Yes.
bag here. Williams Sonoma, we missed. That's having a good day. Beazer Homes, I took a look at this one. I don't know how much liquidity there is after hours, but that's what we have. That's what we have for after the close.
Applied
Really.
Materials is the big one.
Oh, that's right.
AM,
AMAT.
AMAT's going
AMAT.
to be the big one that everybody will be watching. It will move. You'll see some chips move. LRCX is your natural pair with AMAT, so it will move directly with it. So keep an eye on LRCX. If Applied Materials starts going down, your LRCX is going to go down too. But you can see a lot of the chips here move. So I mean, lots to chew on here. But they'll come on CNBC and say, "What a great day for the S&P coming all the way back." But man, if you're in those small caps, wah, wah, TLT with a great day, IWM, not so much.
Okay, we'll let you get to the after hours trading here. Thank you for joining us on the closing print, and the Bulls are defending that closing price here. Microsoft up $6.50. Let me go to the screen share here so you don't have to look in my mug. Let me know what you guys got here. Ask Dennis if he shorted MSOS on the Snoop Dogg news. If it came out during the day, I doubt it because he's not around intraday. But boom, major resistance in that at $7. What else do we hear? Ben wants to know if the run in you is over. Well, you could say that it topped out just above $30 here, had a high at 30.42. That was back in mid October. Yesterday, 30.38, three highs in the 30 handle, and you back off. That is a red candle. The question can it build support? Not taking out yesterday's low by much, 28.91 versus 28.63. So it did take it out, yeah, by 30 cents. Bunch of spotty highs in here, and the next daily low, I would say 28. I mean, you know how these things, if you could hang in here next couple days, build some bids. Your 3-day low comes in at 27.98. So I think that's what you need. Got nowhere near that level today. So if you can build a little base here, maybe boom, take a poke, take out that double top at the 30.35 area. But one red candle after just such a big run yet, it's you don't want to throw that out too quickly. 3 minutes left here. I think I'm going to call the closing print 45.20, but a little premature on that. Florida, I but worried about that CLH. I told Todd, this is just hanging around too long. It's when you hang around support too long, you take it out, still finding buyers there. I don't know what is going to turn this, but just leaning on the daily, monthly, weekly support at 50. Things are thin below 50. One earnings report back in August, you had a quad top at the 48.50 area. So I guess you got to call still holding old resistance at just holding above new support. So see if Celtics holding really hasn't reacted great to their stocks. They had some good earnings reports. We are rounding the turn here, and it looks like the Bulls are trying to prevail for another green session here. That will be 13 and 15. Not such a good case for the IWM here concerning trading near the lows of the session. Man, we need everything to participate here for for a move up to all-time highs. Doesn't look like that's materializing with the IWN. Of course, the tech-heavy Qs, boy, at that level, we talked about it. It topped out right at this 388. It was a 388. Yep, just under 388. You're at 385.94. That's a big area leading you back up to that $400 area. So Microsoft and the rest of mega cap tech holding up the market here on this Thursday. It looks like the Bulls can do another victory lap, the 13th in the last 15 sessions. Gonna get that closing print for you guys here in a matter of 15 seconds. We'll be talking. Oh, Intel. I forgot about that. Mizuho moving Intel here. That's a huge move. Over 40. Didn't even blink at 40 yesterday. Mizuho comes in with an upgrade. I was wrong on that lazy closing print. I'm going to call it 23 and a quarter, folks. That's 13 out of the last 15 sessions. The S&P is closing up near the highs of the session. Big shout out. Thanks to Triple D for joining me here on the closing print. Keep an eye on your stocks. AMAT, Ross Stores, Gap Stores, and Beezer Homes. Old Duda Report. Back with you in the morning with Triple D along with Blue Putnam to get the look at the recent inflation data and the implications for upcoming recession. Everyone, have a good night.